Hey guys, welcome to the preview show. I'm your host Khalid. Today we're going to be talking about the T20 series against Sri Lanka. Now, I've given some of the guys off tonight, or some of them have taken off tonight because they've had quite a hectic day with the World Cup announcement and them coming on the show, etc. So I'm going to have a chat with you guys and let you guys run the review show tonight. I'm going to talk to you to the comments that are in the live chat. You guys can have a chat to me and let me know what you guys think about certain aspects. And I'm going to give you just a quick summary of everything that is going to be happening with regards to the T20 series. Now, it comes at a shock because first and foremost, the squads are slightly different. Now, the initial squad that was announced for the T20 series was as follows. We have Temba Bavuma, Quinton de Kock, Reza Hendricks, Aiden Markram, Rassie van der Dussen, David Miller, Hendrik Klaassen, Dwayne Pretorius, Vian Mulder, George Linder, Keshav Maharaj, Sesanda Magala, Björn Hendricks, Lungi Ngidi, Anik Nokia, Kagiso Rabada, Lizard Williams, Bjorn Fortuyn, and Tabrei Shamsi. Now, compared to the World Cup squad, we know that the World Cup squad was announced obviously earlier today, and this is the World Cup squad. Now you can see the likes of Björn Hendricks is not in this particular squad, as well as Sesanda Magala. They've opted for reserves in George Linder and Dele Pechelquai and Lazard Williams. That will be in the reserve setup, and then Vian Mulder in the main side. Now, the two squads kind of do go against each other a little bit, as we know. And I'm going to try to talk to you guys about it today. We do have a caller that's waiting in the back end for us. That's going to kick off this particular show, and so I have a partner in crime as we're talking. Otherwise, it's just my boring face that you guys are going to have to listen to the entire show. So let's get straight into it. I'm excited about this particular one. I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments tonight. I'm not going to give you guys a must of you that you have to get involved with the super chat. I'm going to try to get as many as possible, but if you want me to read out your show, please let me know what you guys have to say by selecting a super chat. But let's get straight into today's video. I'm going to be bringing on my guest with me right now to have a chat with all of you guys. So let's get straight to it. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your preview show for the T20 series against Sri Lanka. I'm your host, Khalid. This is my co-host tonight, Werner, and we're going to be chatting to you about the T20 series. Now, let's get straight into it. I mean, there's a lot of comments coming through. We first and foremost have to talk about the captaincy. Who's going to be captain? That's the first and foremost the question. Now, it could possibly be Keshav Maharaj that becomes captain on his debut, or it could be Quinton. Now, I put up a little poll for everybody to have a look, and I want to see what you guys have to say in the poll, who you want to be as captain. But what is your thoughts, Werner, on who would be captain? Timo Werner, they say.
Am I the only one who doesn't know what that means?
Oh!
You're going to have to explain it to me.
It's a footballer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I have that clear of him, but I am not a big football follower, so excuse me. But okay. Fair enough. I'm sorry if I have to spoil it.
Just like Timo Werner, you missed that joke. He's known for missing a lot of goals. So
Fair enough. Okay. So in terms of the captaincy, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they've already announced who the captain is going to be for tomorrow. It's going to be Maharaj.
Okay, cool, awesome. I didn't look at that actually. So I've been so busy running around doing all of these things and doing all of these shows. So trying to put everything together. I haven't actually sat down and watched the entire press conference quite yet. I'm going to be doing that after this show.
Yeah, me neither. I've just had a quick read of one or two articles, and I saw they said that Maharaj will be captaining. So debut captaincy for Maharaj.
Excellent. That's crazy. On your debut, you become captain of the Proteas T20 setup. It's crazy. At least he had some help or some experience in the ODI setup, so that's good. So with everybody in the poll in the live chat, 38% of you guys have already voted for Maharaj. So makes the job a lot easier if you guys are saying that. I would have personally went with a guy like Quinton de Kock. I mean, he's done it before. I think Quinton is a good option to be a vice captain in the side. I mean, he's a senior guy that makes a lot of calls anyway. So I wouldn't mind Quinton de Kock as a potential captain. Maybe Rassi as well. But I think just because Quinton has already captain before, it would be nice to have a guy like Quinton captain. But okay, as we know, Maharaj will be captain. Surprising one, I feel. But thank you for updating us on that. When you look at the lineup now, and we look at the squad, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do now that the World Cup announcement has been made. Because we know that George Linder was not in the original 15. So does that mean that he is not considered as one of the best players in the side for regards to a starting 11? Do you go with George in your particular lineup? Because for me, the best top 7 would have been for me Quinton de Kock, Themba Bavuma, then having Rassi van der Dussen, then Aiden Markram, then David Miller, and then number 6, I would have wanted to go with a guy like Dwayne Pretorius, and then have George Linder at 7. And then you can go 8, 9, 10, 11. You can pick according to what bowlers are informed, KG, Andrich, Shamsi, Keshaf maybe. So what are your thoughts on that, Werner? Do you think that George will miss out of this T20 setup if we're going to do a preview?
Yeah, he probably will. Now that he's not been picked for the World Cup, they can't now suddenly play him and not play Fortuyn, or play him and not play Maharaj. I don't know. I see there's some contradicting statements in the comments. Maybe Maharaj is not the captain. Maybe I have it wrong and the sources are incorrect. But we'll see in any case. We'll see tomorrow. But I can't see how they can now pick Linder while they didn't choose him for the World Cup squad, because now they have to play the guys they chose for the World Cup squad, because this is like their last international T20 opportunity before the World Cup. So yeah, I mean, obviously I said earlier today I was very surprised that Linder didn't make it to the starting squad, call it like that he only got into the reserves, which astounded me to say the least. Having him play the whole year ahead of Fortuyn, Maharaj not even having made his T20 World Cup debut, so it's strange. But yeah, so I won't be surprised if Linder then doesn't play this series.
Yeah, based on that, yes, based on what was announced in the World T20 squad announcement, then yes, what you are saying is correct. I'm not 100%. I don't know if he, who the captain will be. I know you're saying so people are a bit unsure in the comment section as well. I never saw anything personally on who would be the captain. Originally, they obviously said that they're going to be announcing it over the next couple of days or whatever. But I never saw a direct report. Maybe I never looked on Twitter, etc. So you know more about that.
I saw it on Crick Info.
Oh, you saw it on Crick Info. Okay, cool. Well, if it said it on Crick Info, then most likely it is true. So if that's the case, then that's the case. But let's move on from the captaincy. What would you like to see from the Proteas setup? Because for me, I need to see a clinical performance. I need to see South Africa put in a proper performance to give South African fans a lot of happiness going into the T20 World Cup, because we had a lot of fans very upset when they saw the World Cup announcement, particularly about Faf du Plessis and him not making it into the side. Now, there are some quotes from Graham Smith that I can read out to you where he explains the reasoning behind Faf du Plessis. He said, with Faf in particular, we struggled to find the balance that worked for both parties. When you're working with free agents, you have to find the balance that works for the squad and the free agents. It is tough and disappointing, but but big performance on the world. But it remains confident that there will be big performances on the world stage with the current squad that is available. So that's what we're hearing from a guy like Graham Smith and what he had to say. We've got Ravi waiting for us in the background as to who he's going to come give us his thoughts on the game. Welcome to the show, Ravi. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, so we've
Hi,
just
Philip.
talking about. How's it? So we're just talking about the lineup and basically what we expect from South Africa tomorrow in the match. Given that we need some joy from a fan base because there's a lot of guys that were very upset about the World Cup squad. What was your thoughts on the World Cup squad, and what are you expecting from South Africa in tomorrow's game?
Yeah,
Um,
thanks, Khalid. Yeah, look, I think I'll start with the World Cup squad. I think that's the elephant in the room at the moment. And, the challenge with that squad, I mean, there was multiple. I think there are some people that are in the reserves or on the bench that shouldn't even be in the reserves. There was a notable omission. I think this has been a major talking point for the last couple of weeks in the form of Faf du Plessis, more than likely not joining the squad. So that was something that was, I think, almost socialized with the country or the cricketing fan base to say, he's not coming, right? So I think we were kind of prepared for that, but that for me it's still just as upsetting to not go into the T20 World Cup without Faf. The man is informed. There shouldn't be any reason why we shouldn't consider him for selection. And then, I think the other surprise and quite a significant one is the inclusion of Keshav Maharaj and the omission of George Linda. And I think that's been a major talking point for during the course of the day. I picked it up on Twitter. Lots of people are unhappy about it, and I think I could understand why Keshav was considered. He did bowl reasonably well in the 50 over variety, and the only other logical explanation for his inclusion is that he does offer a little bit of the bat and possibly could be an interim skipper in the event that Temba does get injured again. But then again, you've got Klaasen, you've got the Cock in the squad as well, which can also fulfill those roles. So there's a lot of, I think I was left with a lot more question marks or uncertainty. While I was happy to see some of the stalwarts like Miller and Rassi and the rest of the gang, it was good to see those guys. I just felt that the side is not complete. We always talk about having a fully competitive team. You and I, Khalid, we're big Man United fans. We can tell you which positions are sort of outstanding. And I just feel that there were some too many notable omissions from the squad. And in all sense and purposes, I don't see South Africa winning the World Cup. But if you really want to put the best foot forward and be competitive, I just don't see us having a competitive advantage. Sorry, that's my 3-year-old intervening. She's obviously a Andile Fekwakwaya fan. Sorry about that. That's my 3-year-old just getting involved there. You want to say hello to South Africa?
That's okay.
Okay.
Hello.
She's just getting involved there. She obviously loves Andile.
Part of life. Part of life, brother.
Cool. Sorry. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. And then obviously going into the series. Look, T20 is one of those games, Khalid, that it could go either way. Obviously, Sri Lanka being the host, they will have all the advantages in the world. And the fact that a very inexperienced young side took out a semi-experienced South African outfit speaks volumes in the 50 over stage, and it's only telling what could possibly happen in the T20 setup. So it's one of those games where it literally takes one over to upset the balance of the game. So it's hard to say at this point in time. So I'm not willing to commit to a potential victor there. But so far, I think it's looking very well in favor of Sri Lanka at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to see is just, it's difficult in T20 cricket to really find like a certain style of cricket or way to play, because a lot of the time we rely on a clinical performance or outstanding star that really performs well on the day. Quentin de Kock My view is that if Quinton de Kock doesn't fire, majority of the time South Africa is going to lose the match. That is my concern currently with the current setup. If Quinton de Kock doesn't go and smack a quick 50 or get some runs on the board, it's very difficult for us to recover if that doesn't happen. We do have Aiden. I want to see how they utilize Aiden, whether they're seeing him as a number 4 or perhaps a number 6 because he spins the ball a little bit. That's still up for debate. We're going to have to see what the 11 is tomorrow. But Werner, if you had to pick a top 7, because I think the bowlers pick themselves once you pick your top 7. That's ultimately, you pick your bowlers according to what you need for the conditions, what you need for the game day, who's in form, how people are feeling. So from your perspective, let's pick that top 7. Who would you pick as your top 7 and why?
Okay. I would open with Quinny and Markram, just because I feel Markram has done very well the times he has been given the opportunity to open in T20s. Though I know he won't open in the World Cup, Bavuma will open. So I suppose they will probably bat him at 3 to kind of keep that continuity and bring in Hendricks. But I would personally open with Markram and Quinny, and then I would have Rassie at 3 and Miller at 4. I feel Miller coming in at 4 is a good spot for him. I feel he's 5 is a bit too low. I think he needs more time, and the more time he spends through the innings, the more destructive he is at the back end. And then I would have at 5, then you can probably have Klaasen, see how he goes. He looked pretty good in the last ODI. No, it wasn't the last one, the second one. He had a pretty good game, struck a good 40 in quick time. And then I'd have Pretorius at 6. And then if Linda is not in the World Cup squad, he'll probably not play the series. So I'll have Fortuin at 7. Yeah, no, I don't really want to comment further on Linda. It's crazy. But in any case, so Fortuin then at 7, and then Maharaj at 8, 9, Rabada, Norkia, and then Shamsi. But I'd probably sorry, I know you said only the top 7. I went on now,
right.
but I would hope they'll give Rabada a rest in the series sometime. I don't want them to play all 3 games. Give William Sarani, is in the reserves at the World Cup, so give him some game time. He hasn't had much, so I hope he gets some time.
Yeah, it makes total sense. It's a difficult one because if they do pick Linda tomorrow, then everybody's going to ask again. But what are you guys doing? Why not select him in the full squad? Then I mean, there were a lot of guys that called it out on Twitter. I even saw his ex-teammates at the Cobras, Aviva Majima, who's currently there still, but his ex-teammate as well, Dane Pitt, asking questions on social media. Why is George Linder not there? And it's a joke, to be honest, because I mean, you can't be picking someone consistent. If it's very contradictory, because what Victor Butsang said on TV on SuperSport at the announcement was that the reason for Faf not being there is because they want to keep consistency with the selections throughout. But then that doesn't make sense because ultimately George Linder then should be picked in that same notion. If you understand what I mean.
No sense to me. So yeah.
So yeah, like Ravi, you gave an excellent point over there that in T20 cricket, it's different. It's whatever happens on the day. So what sort of performance, what sort of style would you like to see from South Africa? Who do you think holds the key to a victory tomorrow?
And again, apologies for my daughter. She was obviously watching MMA with her uncle again. And she started practicing some moves there on the largest person in the household. But anyways, so it's a tricky one. Sorry, I missed part of the question because the line did break up for a second there. But I listened to Werner's last point in that he was hoping that Lazard Williams gets a ball there, and I couldn't agree any further. I mean, the poor chap, I think, from one country to another, has been getting drinks, and I always felt terrible for the guy. Not to say that you just need to afford opportunity elsewhere, just willy nilly, but I feel he's done so much to warrant a place in the team that he's never gotten a shot. I mean, as an example, this one-day series, we mentioned it the other night. Uh, there was a semi-experienced team, and I'm going to emphasize that word, semi-experienced. We had some veterans, some guys that have played for quite a few one-day internationals, but some people that were still floundering in and out, interchangeable sort of roles. And we had a mixed strategy there. We didn't know what our intentions were. I think the selectors once again played a hand in that. And there's a lot of question marks I have. I learned, in fact, just 10 minutes before joining on, that Lungi and Gidi is going to Dubai for the IPL. Now, that's wonderful news for Lungi and Gidi, but what is the point of him coming to Sri Lanka?
I told Mpo earlier he basically took a vacation in Sri Lanka. It's just
it must have been.
The whole day is just not making sense to me. It feels like we need to all wake up tomorrow morning and then we start over again. Let's try it the second time.
I just don't understand. I mean, okay, forget the cricketing performance side. Cricket South Africa is still in the financial hole the last time I checked. Why would you fly a guy halfway around the world to go for a tour that he's not going to play in? I just don't understand that. I'm at a loss for words, actually.
And then he leaves early to the IPL for the Chennai Super Kings, for which he might not even play a game based on the composition of their team. He might not even play a single game. Hazelwood might play all the games, Bravo, Curran, Faf. I can't remember everyone now, but there's a good chance he won't even play a game. And now he doesn't play now, so you'll have no game time leading up to the World Cup.
Makes no sense.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a lot of
the selectors have been their decision making has been nonsensical, to say the very least. It hasn't made sense. Like India are backing Ravichandran Ashwin 100% of the way, but they gave sound reasons as to why he's in the team. Which is a hell of a thing. I was surprised myself, but they backed it up. On our case, we
Oh, did we lose him? Okay, we lost him.
Yeah, we lost him. But it's a good point he makes about Ravi Ashwin and England. They're backing Moles, who had a great 100. He hasn't played for England since 2017. I've heard rumors Sunil Narayan might be picked for the West Indies squad. I don't know if they've been picked yet. I'm still trying to look and see. So yeah, I don't know. It's like we don't want to take those bold decisions. It's like the moment one of our guys decide to retire from Test match cricket, or they decide they want to miss a few series to go maybe play some T20 cricket, then that's the end. They won't be picked again.
And you made an excellent point with the image that you sent me about Dale Steyn, when you said that, exactly that. So it's interesting to see what will be happening tomorrow, because I mean that will obviously open up the whole idea of what we're going to be seeing the rest of the series. And if South Africa are going to continue picking sides based on fear, because sometimes it seems like that. Or it seems like, oh, flip, we're going to get embarrassed here. Oh, let's make a quick change. Like the way they treated Kyle Verreynne in the ODIs, I feel you either back him or you don't back him. You don't play him one game every few series and expect him to do miracles. That's not how someone's going to get runs. I mean, like in cricket, you fail more than you succeed. You understand what I mean? So if they pick a team, I want to see some consistency heading into this World Cup. But then but it's almost like they always leave a space for uncertainty, like this Lungi Ngidi situation. So whoever they pick tomorrow, it still leaves an open spot for uncertainty. Would he even start in the World Cup?
Yeah, now we have players. Now we have players like Magala and Bjorn Hendricks there in the squad for this series. Now the question is, will they get any game time, or will they now not be picked because the T20 squad, they're not in the T20 squad for the World Cup? And if they're not going to play, then why did they go to Sri Lanka?
This is the biggest. That's the biggest shock for me. Andile Pechelquaio's selection in the T20 squad as a reserve. Yeah. I'm like, he's not even in the T20 squad. He's going home.
Yeah.
So why do you? Well, I assume he's going home. Maybe he's staying with the. Maybe he's staying in the camp now because of this. But the squad that was registered for the T20s, Andile wasn't in that squad.
Yeah,
Magala
I don't
was,
understand. And
and we
Magala was,
thought,
Bjorn Hendricks was.
yeah. So it's very, very shocking to me that now all of a sudden, what's going to happen tomorrow? We're going to have to see if they start playing Magala. Then it's like, what's the point? What does Magala even play for? Like, even if
Yeah,
he does start,
but
just for
imagine how
pride.
Linde feels right now. If they pick
Yeah.
Linde, I can't imagine what's going through his head right now. He's been playing the T20 series. He's now finally got an ODI debut. Everything is going great. And then there's bombshell drops. Oh, wait, sorry. You're in the reserves now. You might not play this T20 series anymore.
Or maybe they will say, "Oh no, sorry, someone's injured," and then, put them.
Okay, well,
Tactically.
don't worry. You're not in the T20 World Cup squad, but at least we'll give you this series against Sri Lanka. What?
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for you today. I know a lot of the talk was about the World Cup, but we could not speak about the World Cup when we're talking about this T20 series, because this T20 series to me was very important. That's why I was quite shocked that they announced it before the series. I thought they would have made the announcement after the Sri Lanka series, because then they would have had the last series to be able to make a decision on who they're going to keep and who they're not. Because if someone now goes and scores 3 centuries in a row or gets 3 fifers in a row, highly unlikely, what do you do at that point? And they're sitting in the reserves, for example. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the next few games. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Smash that like button, click the share button, and share this with all your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. We've even made a nice subscribe button for you so that you can do that. So go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. There's a lot of subscriptions coming in. A lot of people have been signing up the last couple of days, the last week, the last month. So come and join that family. There's a lot of exclusive content within there. We're working on a T20 edition, domestic T20 edition, to get an insight into what coaches and what players think about domestic cricket and improving the game domestically so that they can get selection in World Cups. That's what we're going to be talking about as well. So, So, guys, please subscribe to those things. Everything's 100% free, straight to your mailbox every month. The link is in the description. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow after the game with a review show. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, Werner, for coming on and making time available, even though you made time available for us this afternoon too.
No problem.
See you guys. Cheers.
Yes.